On a deep winter night, the small village of Snow Hill was covered in snow. The snow was falling gently, and the surroundings were shrouded in mist. The villagers sat by the fire, enjoying warm meals, but little Nira was sitting by the window, gazing outside. She knew there was a mysterious story of winter. A magical fairy known as the Winter Fairy comes to the land of snow every year. But no one ever sees her. That night, Nira saw a mysterious bluish light glowing in the distant forest. Unable to contain her curiosity, she wrapped herself in a warm shawl and set out. As she entered the woods, a gentle, refreshing breeze began to blow. Nira was astonished to see sparkling golden dust spread over the snow. Suddenly, she felt the air around her soften, and before her stood a remarkably beautiful fairy. The fairy wore a deep blue dress, her wings were as transparent as ice, and she was smiling gently. The fairy said, "I am the Winter Fairy. Do you know what the true beauty of winter is?" Nira replied, "The whiteness of the snow." The fairy shook her head. "No, the true beauty is warmth. The love we give each other on winter nights can conquer even the snow." Then the fairy handed Nira something small, like a snowflake. Nira was amazed to see it melt into a bright little blue stone. The fairy said, "This is the light of love. Whenever you help someone, it will shine." The fairy vanished, and Nira found herself standing alone in the snow. But the stone in her hand was glowing brightly. The next day, Nira took food to a poor old woman in the village. To her astonishment, she saw that her stone was indeed radiating light. At that moment, Nira understood that winter is not just about the cold, but also a time for helping one another.
Once upon a time, in the magical kingdom of Chandralok, the night sky sparkled with the light of countless stars. The kingdom was ruled by Prince Arindam, renowned not only for his bravery and intelligence, but also for his kindness. However, one mysterious night, every star vanished from the heavens, leaving the night sky eerily empty. The wise elders of the kingdom gathered and decreed, "You must journey to the mountain of lost stars. Therein lies the answer to the riddle of the vanished stars." With determination, Arindam mounted his faithful white horse, Chitravahan, and set off on his quest. His travels led him to an ancient temple where an old sage stopped him and said, "This mystery runs deep. What you see may not be real. Before you reach the mountain, visit the city of shadows, where all hidden answers lie." Although puzzled by the sage's words, Arindam altered his path towards the mysterious city of shadows. The city was shrouded in mist, and there, a shadowy figure blocked his way. "If you wish to retrieve the stars," it intoned, "tell me, what is the greatest truth?" Arindam paused, contemplating deeply before answering. "The greatest truth is that not everything seen can be believed." At once, the mist dissipated, revealing a secret portal within the city of shadows opening before him. Beyond lay the sight that left Arindam in awe. The stars were not missing. They were hidden away, guarded by none other than the kingdom's own sorcerer. The sorcerer spoke, "I knew you would come. I've concealed the stars to teach the kingdom a valuable lesson. True light doesn't always come from above. Sometimes it must be found within." Arindam smiled, replying, "Then I shall teach my people. If we stand united, the darkness can never prevail." With the sorcerer's golden key, he opened the celestial gates, and the stars returned to the sky one by one. With the stars back, Chandralok shone brighter than ever, and the people celebrated in jubilation. The king proudly proclaimed, "Arindam, you've not only brought back our stars, but our faith as well." Yet, the prince was left pondering the sorcerer's message. In the dead of night, as the kingdom slept, Arindam quietly ventured to the ancient library, delving into dusty manuscripts. There, he discovered a chronicle of the kingdom's first ruler, a great sorcerer who had cast aside his powers to rule as a humble king. This lost power was prophesied to return to its rightful heir. To Arundum's astonishment, the name of this sorcerer was Arundhati, his own mother's name. Returning to the palace, he asked, "Mother, do you know of this sorcerer Arundhati?" With a deep sigh, she replied, "Yes, Arundum. He was an ancestor of ours. His magic flows in our blood, but we've never wielded it, believing true strength lies in love and justice." Arundum realized he would govern not through magic, but with wisdom, intellect, and compassion. The following morning at court, he declared, "Our kingdom's true strength lies not in magic, but in unity, love, and sacrifice. I am the heir who will protect the light of the stars, but never use it for wrongful power." The people erupted in joy. From that day forward, Chandralok flourished in peace and prosperity. Arundum became more than a prince. He became a great ruler, whose story would be etched in history as the true prince of the fairy tale.
In the realm of fairies, Queen Fairy was a symbol of light and peace. Her magic made flowers bloom, rivers flow, and stars shine brighter. But one day, the dark fairy secretly entered the kingdom and stole the luminous grains of power from the fairies. These grains were the source of all fairy magic. Without them, the kingdom gradually weakened, flowers withered, rivers turned dull, and stars lost their luster. Queen Fairy knew that without the grains of power, the fairies' realm wouldn't survive. But where were they? One night, while pondering under an ancient bough, a faint light appeared. A mysterious fairy came to her and said, "If you wish to save the kingdom, you must cross the dark chasm. But remember, retrieving power is not enough. You must also be worthy of holding it." Queen Fairy realized she must embark on a dangerous quest. Only the magic of her ancient moon staff could aid her. With courage, she set off towards the chasm. Once there, challenges began to unfold. Mysterious shadows blocked her path, but Queen Fairy cast them away with her moon staff's light. Fearsome shadow fairies tried to confuse her, but she moved on with the strength of her heart. Finally, she found a grand magical door, beyond which lay the stolen grains of power. Upon opening the door, Dark Fairy sat on a grand magical throne with the grains glowing in her hand. A storm of darkness whirled around the throne, carrying promises of false hope. "You're late, Queen Fairy," Dark Fairy sneered. "My reign begins now. With this power, I can create whatever I desire. Light, darkness, fear, hope, all shall be crafted by my will." Queen Fairy, with a calm voice, said, "What do you wish to create, Dark Fairy? A barren empire for yourself, or something truly strong?" Dark Fairy hesitated for a moment. Queen Fairy continued, "Have you ever wondered why we are all part of the grain's power? Because true strength lies in sharing. It's easy to seize power, but true strength guides others, built upon love." Dark Fairy remained silent, her eyes revealing a flicker of doubt. "I only wanted to prove myself strong," she whispered. Queen Fairy smiled gently. "You wanted to take, but real power comes when you learn to give." Slowly, Dark Fairy extended her hand. The grain shimmered and gently made its way to Queen Fairy's hand. In an instant, darkness vanished, the chasm filled with bright light, and a sweet melody resonated in the air. "I will spread light, not destruction," Dark Fairy declared firmly. Queen Fairy forgave her, saying, "Light and strength are truly valuable only when they are for everyone." The fairies' realm bloomed again, the river sang its eternal tune, and the stars shone even brighter. Once upon a time, amidst the vast ocean, there was a beautiful island called the Suvarnadweep. This island was famous for its gold and gems. But the greatest mystery was the sea monster that surrounded it. Folk tales spoke of this creature so enormous that its shadow would engulf the entire island. Anyone who tried to loot the island's treasures was swiftly pulled into the deep sea by the monster. Many kings and explorers attempted to find Suvarnadweep, but none returned. One day, a daring girl named Nilanjana decided to solve this mystery. Nilanjana was an experienced sailor. She set sail on her ship into the ocean. After miles and miles of journey, as she neared the island, the sea suddenly became turbulent. Out of nowhere, a colossal wave rose high like the sky, and from within emerged the terrifying sea monster. Its eyes glowed, and its body was as dark as the deep sea. In a deep voice it asked, "Who are you? Why have you come to my island?" Unfazed, Nilanjana replied, "I want to know why you guard this island." The sea monster paused for a moment and then said, "You are the first human to stand before me without fear. So, listen to the true history of the island." The monster revealed that many years ago, there was a tyrant king here who incurred the curse of the island due to his greed. His wickedness escalated to such heights that the powers of the sea and air became furious together. During a tremendous storm, the island was on the verge of sinking. An invisible force of the sea vowed, "As long as greed exists, no one will possess the treasures of this island." Since then, the island's treasures became cursed. Whoever touched them turned into stone. I am the last guardian of the island. It is my duty to stop the greedy from looting the cursed treasures. Nilanjana asked, "Is there no way to break this curse?" The sea monster sighed and said, "There is only one way. If someone comes to the island selflessly and asks for light instead of treasure, the curse will break." Nilanjana landed on the island and looked around. There, only statues of people turned into stone were scattered. Instead of taking any treasure, she went to the center of the island and said, "I want nothing, only the light of truth." Immediately, lightning struck in the sky, the sea calmed, and the stones on the island turned into living people. The centuries-old curse was broken. Slowly the sea monster smiled, its body becoming transparent. It said, "My duty is completed. I can rest now." Then, it slowly merged with the water, and Suvarnadweep was open to people again, but not for wealth, for seeking the light of knowledge. Nilanjana returned, but she brought no treasure, only a magnificent story that taught everyone, true wealth is not found in greed, it is in the quest for light. The night was deep. The moonlight had moved away, and the sky was veiled with dark clouds. Among the forest trees, a peculiar light occasionally flickered, as if hiding an otherworldly power. Sahasini, who was there for the first time, was drawn by an unknown curiosity and the pursuit of a mystery. For days, she had heard about a cave in these woods where people enter and never return the same. The forest air was eerie, night birds calling in faraway treetops. Suddenly, she stopped at a massive entrance, a cave mouth, emitting that strange bright light, as if something beyond this world awaited inside. Sahasini stood undecided at the mouth of the cave, a mysterious, faint call echoing inside. Should she enter or turn back? Suddenly, a gust of wind shook the cave's surroundings, and the light grew stronger. As Sahasini stepped forward, the ground gave way beneath her. What lay inside that cave? Would Sahasini return or remain trapped in a mystery's web? As her body drifted through darkness, the light enveloped her, gently lowering her. Her feet touched the ground, surrounded by an odd chill and an unknown fragrance in the air. Sahasini found herself in an ancient chamber, walls adorned with peculiar symbols that brightened gradually. "At last, you've come." Her gaze was captured by a mysterious woman with eyes like beams of light, clad in azure robes, holding a crystal emitting a bluish glow. "Who are you?" demanded Sahasini, trembling. The woman smiled mysteriously. "I am the guardian of this light, and you are the one it awaited." "Me? But why?" This cave is a gateway to a mystery. Wanderers who enter may never return the same, but those who seek it uncover its truth. Do you wish to know? Torn between fear and curiosity, Sahasini faced the choice: accept the mystery's challenge or risk no return. She closed her eyes and found resolve. I wish to know, she declared firmly. The crystal in the woman's hand glowed intensely. The chamber filled with light as the wall's symbols came alive. Come, she ushered. The light's truth awaits. They floated into another chamber, centered by a vast, pristine pool reflecting stars. The woman explained, a mirror to the future, yet remember, your choices shape it. Sahasini peered into the pool. Her vision unveiled a vast city alight, surrounded by fire, ruins, and strange shadows. Among them stood Sahasini with courageous allies, confronting a formidable darkness seeking to consume the world. What is this? Why me? Because the light chose you. This cave is no mere mystery. It heralds a war. Your choices now define everything. Sahasini drew a deep breath. Before her lay two paths: turn back or embrace the truth. I want to know the truth. I'll go forward. The woman's eyes met hers with gentle strength. Prepare yourself. Truth is never easy. Taking her hand, they vanished into a vision of a vast city, suspended between skyscrapers, crystal fragments in the air, lit by a hanging star. This lost city, Nurbil, once a beacon of light, now battles encroaching darkness. Sahasini, startled, asked, what kind of darkness? It's born of human greed, vengeance, a craving for destruction, a force now awakening to consume all. A deep rumble shook the surroundings. Dark clouds gathered ominously, the air heavy with a strange hum. What's happening? Sahasini inquired, her heart racing. The kingdom was named Akashbindu. There, Princess Arisha was revered by everyone. She was as wise as she was incredibly courageous. She had taken the responsibility of preserving the kingdom's peace upon herself. However, her greatest strength was her loyal companion, a huge white wolf named Tarash. One day, news of a terrifying monster attacking one corner of the kingdom arrived. This monster would attack villages in the dead of night, destroying crops and keeping people in fear. No one dared to stand against it, but Arisha was unafraid. She said, my people will be afraid, and I shall sit idle? Never. I will confront this monster myself. Tarash, her loyal wolf, roared in agreement with her words. In the dark of the night, Arisha and Tarash crossed the kingdom's boundaries and ventured into the deep forest. Inside the forest, the air was filled with a strange scent, and the trees seemed to be whispering something. Suddenly, a massive shadow blocked their path. It was the monster. The monster laughed in a deep voice. Why have you come here, princess? Aren't you scared? Arisha, with an unwavering voice, replied, I have come to protect my people. I am not afraid. The monster roared, shaking the sky, but at that moment, Tarash leaped up and pounced towards it. A battle ensued. The monster's strength was immense, but Arisha's strategy and Tarash's swiftness were unparalleled. When the monster grew weary, Princess Arisha cunningly ensnared it. Finally, the monster resigned and said, You are truly brave. I was wrong. I will never harm the kingdom again. Arisha, smiling, said, Just being sorry won't do. You must help protect the kingdom. From that night on, the monster no longer harmed the kingdom. Instead, it became a guardian, and Princess Arisha and Tarash became an unforgettable duo in history. In the kingdom of Akashbindu, no one was afraid anymore because they knew they had a brave princess and her loyal companion to protect them, who would never back down against injustice. Once upon a time, there was a small village. In the deep forest beside that village lived a golden deer. No one had ever been able to catch it. Only at night, in the moonlight, could one catch a glimpse of its shimmering body. The villagers would say, "Whoever can catch the golden deer will become the owner of immortality and endless wealth." Lured by this promise, many ventured into the forest in search of the deer, but none returned. In that village lived two brothers, Arif and Aman. The elder brother, Arif, was greedy and self-centered, always dreaming of wealth. The younger brother, Aman, was wise and kind, with a love for nature. One day, Arif declared, "I will catch the golden deer. Then I will become a king." He entered the forest with his bow and arrow. On his way, he encountered an old woman who said, "Dear child, if you wish to find the golden deer, first learn to cultivate a good heart." But Arif laughed and replied, "Old folks always speak nonsense." He continued to chase the deer, but eventually lost his way in the dense forest. In the end, he could never return. Then the younger brother, Aman, went into the forest. When he reached the old woman, he respectfully said, "Please guide me. I do not wish to catch the deer, only to see it." The old woman smiled and said, "You are on the right path. Remember, the golden deer cannot be caught. It must be held in the heart." Aman patiently waited. Suddenly, one night, in the moonlight, he saw a magnificent golden deer standing beside him. But Aman did not raise his bow. Instead, he extended his hand and said, "You are free. I have come only to admire your beauty." The golden deer gazed at him, and slowly its body began to shimmer. The old woman then said, "You have understood the secret of the golden deer. Those who come with greed are lost, but those who understand with their hearts, their lives are illuminated." The golden deer is a symbol of an elusive dream. Greed leads people to destruction, while a good heart shows the right path. Not all dreams can be caught. Some dreams exist only to be felt. Thus, the true golden deer cannot be caught. It must be held in the heart.
Long, long ago, above the sky, there was a magical kingdom called Alovia, where fairies resided. The heart of this kingdom was the ruby rose, a mysterious flower that emitted a gentle crimson glow. It was said that whoever possessed it would have all truths of their heart revealed. Fairy Queen Elerin was the guardian of this rose. But one night, the rose suddenly disappeared, and the light of the kingdom went out. Elerin sensed that this was no ordinary theft. It was a sinister conspiracy. Just then, a strange melody floated through the air. Hidden at the peak of the sky-shattered tower lies your answer. If you seek the truth, go there alone. The queen flew to the sky-shattered tower, which was so high that even clouds broke upon it. Upon reaching it, she saw the ruby rose floating in the air, surrounded by red flames. At that moment, from the flames emerged a radiant shadow, whose eyes blazed and its voice echoed. "If you wish to reclaim the rose, answer me. What is true power?" The fairy queen spoke calmly. "True power is sacrifice. The one who does not keep their power for themselves, but wishes to protect others, is truly powerful." As soon as she spoke these words, the fiery shadow slowly dissipated, and the ruby rose returned to its original state. The fairy queen returned to the kingdom, restored the rose's power, and Alovia came back to life. However, one night, a mysterious prophecy unfurled on the petals of the rose. One day, when the ruby light fades, a new guardian will come, whose heart is as pure as the ruby. Elerin knew that the true battle never ends. Many years later, a little fairy girl was born, Luciara. Her eyes glowed with a deep crimson hue, and upon her birth, the mysterious crimson light flickered once more in the rose's glow. Elerin understood. A new guardian of the ruby had arrived, and one day she would protect Alovia.
In the kingdom of Arun, Princess Sarah was known for her intelligence, bravery, and compassion. She frequently stood by the side of common people, offering support and aid. However, one mysterious night, she vanished from the palace without a trace. The king and queen searched the entire kingdom but found no sign of her whereabouts. Rumors spread. Some said she was kidnapped, others believed a hidden enemy had taken her hostage. Seeking permission from the king, Myra embarked on a journey with a team of loyal warriors. Along the way, they stumbled upon a stone plaque that read, "Pass through 3 trials, and the door to truth will open." They soon entered a dark forest where no one who entered ever returned. The path was confusing. Shadows lurked between the trees. Suddenly, shadow monsters attacked them. Yet Myra kept her courage intact as she understood that these creatures feared the light. Armed with torches, the warriors advanced, causing the monsters to fade away like mist. They arrived at a massive bridge where an old man guarded it. "Answer my riddle. Cross you shall, fail and tumble below in the abyss," he said. The riddle was, which grows when divided and vanishes when withheld? Myra contemplated and answered, "Love." Instantly, the bridge lit up and they crossed. Finally, they faced a gigantic stone door with an inscription reading, "Only truth's power shall open this gate." Myra realized that to save the princess, fear must be conquered. She boldly declared, "I fear nothing. I walk the path of truth." Suddenly, the door opened, revealing the witch's hidden fortress. Inside, Princess Sarah was captive, and the witch Nishikandrika emerged, stating, "In Sarah's realm, I was but a nameless figure. She stole my power, now I shall have my revenge." The battle began between Myra and Nishikandrika, yet the witch was immensely powerful. It was in that moment that Sarah spoke up, "Victory is won not by strength, but by courage of the heart." Rescuing Sarah, they returned to the kingdom where the king and queen wept with joy, and the people celebrated. Myra was made the kingdom's chief guard for her bravery. Sarah vowed to stand beside every person in the kingdom to ensure justice prevails. Thus ended Princess Sarah's mysterious disappearance and Myra's adventurous quest. Long, long ago, there was a princess named Myalapai, whose eyes were as deep as the ocean and heart was full of courage and love. She was the sole heir to the kingdom, but her realm Nishangar was trapped under a deep curse. Many years ago, an unseen curse had stolen the light from the kingdom. Though the sun shone in the sky, no light would reach the ground. The rivers had dried up, and terror was the only thing visible in people's eyes. The wise old courtiers said that the kingdom would be revived if the enchanted lamp was found, but no one had uncovered its whereabouts for 100 years. One dark night, while standing on the palace rooftop and gazing at the sky, Myalapai heard a strange voice. "If you truly want to find the light, go into the depths of the forbidden forest. But remember, true bravery comes to those who can overcome their fears." She couldn't determine where the voice came from, yet she felt it was her calling. The next day, without informing anyone, the princess set off on her horse towards the forbidden forest. The forest was terrifying. Underneath the shadows of gigantic trees, daylight was absent, whispers lingered in the air, and strange shadows moved occasionally. Suddenly, she came upon a black stone door with an inscription that read, "If the lamp you seek, be ready to lose yourself." Myalapai realized that beyond this door lay the path to her quest. Pushing the stone door open, as she stepped inside, the darkness greeted her. But with each step she took, the ground lit up, as if the cave was welcoming her. Eventually, she reached a large chamber. In the center, There was an old enchanted lamp inscribed with mysterious symbols. She reached out and grasped the lamp. Instantly, a shadowy figure emerged from the lamp, with eyes of fire. "Do you truly wish to save the kingdom?" the shadowy figure asked in a solemn voice. "Yes," Myalapai replied without hesitation. "Remember, every light must face its shadow. Are you truly ready?" Myalapai paused for a moment. Then, with a firm voice, she declared, "No matter how dark it gets, I am not afraid." As she spoke these words, the lamp burst into golden light, and its brilliance chased away the shadow of the curse. Myalapai returned to the kingdom and shattered the curse using the lamp's power. Light returned, the rivers became clear again, and the people of the kingdom were overwhelmed with joy. But one night, as she glanced at the lamp again, a new inscription had emerged. "One day, this light will turn to darkness again. Are you ready?" Myalapai understood that the true battle never ends. New challenges would come, but courage and love would protect her from all darkness. From that night on, she kept the lamp by her side, for it was not just an enchanted lamp, but a symbol of her own confidence and courage.